Stay frosty and check out redzonecoins.com for the cheapest, fastest coins on the market. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 10% off. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the Director. Madden fans, Chargers fans, we got a big one today. We're gonna be revealing the Chargers player ratings in Madden 21. I'm nervous, dudes. I've seen some stuff on Twitter. I've refrained from looking at the official EA website for myself yet. I wanted to do it live on camera, but I've seen stuff like this. You see Rayshawn Jenkins' face right there? Like, oh my God, he was not having any of that. I saw that video. Hilarious. Obviously, there's going to be some issues. I feel like the Chargers are just one of those teams that flies under the radar for a lot of people, and I'm starting to think that the people at EA maybe are the same way. The Chargers are much better than people gave them credit for, and especially the specific players. The specific players on the Chargers, we have some superstars, specifically on defense, that probably need a second look from the EA team when it comes to ratings. So let's get this thing going, guys. Before we get started, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps out a lot. We're getting close to 20K, dudes. Let's see if we can hit 20K around the time that Madden 21 comes out. Let's go. So, all right. If you guys haven't seen this video, it's on the Chargers YouTube, it's on the Chargers Twitter. It's awesome. Here are the actual guys. There's Chris Harris, there's Hunter Henry. There's some of our new guys in there like Brian Bulaga reacting to some of their ratings in Madden 21. We're gonna look at the full thing, man. We're gonna go to the EA website and check out all of the ratings, and I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts, my reactions, and maybe some guys that got snubbed, maybe some guys that need to be, hiked up a little bit, because one guy in particular that all these dudes are talking about at the end was Austin Eckler, who got a strength rating of 70. And everybody, they asked him at first, who's the strongest guy on the team? And everyone was like, oh my God, Eckler, pound for pound, Eckler is the toughest guy. And they ended up giving him 70 strength, and they were like, no. So one cool thing about this is that if a team and if an individual player feels somebody has been snubbed, if there's an incorrect stat in there, they'll call EA out. They'll get on Twitter. They'll be like, yo, we have to have a talk, man. This isn't good. This isn't accurate. This isn't, depicting our player or our team in a correct fashion. So we need to have that corrected, okay? And hopefully that does make a change into Madden 21. So let's get into the ratings and see what this team looks like. All right, again, I have not looked at them. I've seen some stuff on YouTube or whatever on Twitter, and so far I don't know anything about this, guys. So this is going in absolutely fresh. We're just gonna go in with the LA Chargers and see what this team looks like. Oh my God, I'm so excited. All right, starting up at the very top, Joey Bosa, 91. Joey Bosa, a 91. And Keenan Allen. Okay, so let's start with Bosa. Bosa arguably is the best player on our team. I don't think 91 is a correct depiction of Joey Bosa's superstardom. I think, honestly, at this point in his career, he should be at least a 95, a 96, even a 97. The dude is a true force on that defense. So 91 is too low. Too low. Keenan Allen, 91. They made him a top 10 wide receiver this year, when arguably the man is top 5. I get it. There's some rising superstars. Chris Godwin. There's all the other guys that have been great in the past. DeAndre Hopkins. But I legitimately think that Keenan Allen is super underrated because he's not a super fast guy. He was a mid-round pick. He had some injury problems at the beginning of his career, and they haven't been able to help him shake that off. I would say Keenan Allen at least a 94, 93. At least. Casey Hayward, 89. That's okay. That's fine. I would still think around, 90, 91. 89's at the bottom of what I would accept, but there it is. That's fine. Derwin James at an 89, however. I get that the man has had injury problems in his career. I get that, whatever. 89, he should be at least a 92. At least a 92. If you ask me, there's two safeties in the NFL right now that should be really top tier. As far as strong safeties are concerned, Jamal Adams and Derwin James absolutely should be the top two. 1A, 1B. And I know for a fact that Jamal Adams is a 92. So Derwin James absolutely should be at least a 92. The dude's insane. However, he's one of those players because of his frame, because of his speed and hit power, that'll work fine. You know, the overall number's not as important as the other attributes that he has really high, you know, numbers on right now. Brian Bulaga, new addition to the team. Honestly, you know, I've watched him in Green Bay for years. I have to assume that's been, you know, around where he's been for the last couple of years. That's great. That's fine. We haven't had an 88 tackle on the team in how long? And an 88 offensive lineman on the team in how long? Since Nick Hardwick? It's been a minute, dude. It's been a long minute. So Brian Bulaga, welcome to the Bolts. 88 is great. Melvin Ingram, 88. I would like to see 90. You know, him and Joey Bosa are really close, but I guess 88's fine. He's getting a little bit older, but he's still one of the best in the league, okay? I think that's fine. Whatever. Chris Harris Jr., 87. This one's tough because we've been playing against Chris Harris Jr. for years, and I know the guy is a baller. And I know maybe in the past he's been like a 95, 94. 87 now. Yes, he's a little bit older. I would still say at least an 89. I think him and Casey Hayward are around the same level. You know, Chris Harris plays more in the slot than the outside, and he's very, very good there. So, I don't know. Desmond King, also an 87. Now, that to me tells me, you know, Chris Harris, I think, is a little better than Desmond King. But Desmond King in his own right is very good for his age, especially. He came out there balling in the slot. So we have two, I think we have the top 2 slot receivers in the entire league on the Chargers, which is insane. Desmond King, 87. That feels fine to me. He had a little bit of a down year last year, but he's still one of the most elite slot defenders in the league. That's fine. Austin Eckler, 85. Okay, the one thing that makes me happy about this is I know for a fact that Melvin Gordon is an 84. So that's at least one higher than Melvin Gordon. Because I would have to assume, yes, he's a better running back than Melvin Gordon right now. Definitely. But 85? You see some guys have breakout seasons and they go from like 79s to like 90s in one year. I think Austin Eckler is one of those dudes, man. I think Austin Eckler should be at least an 88, maybe an 89. And the one big thing they were upset about was that strength rating, right? You come down here, it's 70. I know he wants to get that addressed. I would make it an 81 just to make him happy, you know, and he is pound for pound one of the strongest guys on the team. So I think that's deserved, you know, but they don't generally give high strength ratings to running backs, which is weird. You know, if you're strong in comparison to other players in the NFL, you know, regardless of position, it should be higher. You know what I mean? Hunter Henry, 85. Now, I know Hunter Henry missed out on the top 10 of tight ends for Madden 21. What? I know guys like Greg Olsen and Jared Cook, you know, were higher than Hunter Henry. I really strongly need to disagree with that. I would say Hunter Henry's at least an 87. Again, one of those guys that was injured last year. It doesn't change his talent, man. Like, he's one of the best in the league right now. 85. Cool. The one big thing I'll say right now at this point is that we have a lot of really good talent, especially on defense on this team. Like, the fact that I've gone this low on the list and we still have an 85 to go over, it's crazy. Really, really, really good defense and a lot of good, you know, elite tier level players on the Chargers. Linval Joseph, 85 overall. Again, one of those guys that's new, came from the Vikings. I would say 85 is probably pretty good. I know that he's definitely one of those guys that's very good against the run. So if we have an 85 defender at defensive tackle that specializes against the run, I'm happy with that. Mike Williams, 81 to match his team number. I don't know, man. I feel like Mike Williams needs to be at least an 83 or an 84. There's so few guys that are better at spec catching in the league than Mike Williams. He throws himself at the ball. He blocks defenders out with his body very, very well. 81 just seems too low. I don't know, dudes. I feel like he's better than that. I love Mike Williams. He's one of my favorite players on the team right now. He's an underdog, man. Like, I'm rooting for him really hard to, like, break out. But I still think he's earned better than an 81. Mike Pouncey, 80. Okay. He's getting a little older. And honestly, an 80 overall center is not bad in the league right now. I think he's criminally underrated in the league. Therefore, he's going to be criminally underrated in the game. But 80's fine, you know. Trey Turner, however, multiple Pro Bowler. I was actually tweeting at him last night. And I think he agrees. Take a look here. It says something not right. We got to address this ASAP. Yay, Madden Sports. Whatever. And down here I say, yes, sir, we do. My guy, at least an 86. And then some Yahoo in the comments down here was like, oh, he's been low 80s for years. And he says, been Pro Bowling for years. That is very true. If the NFL itself says, hey, Trey Turner is one of the top guys in this league at his position, and he's been doing it for so many years, why in the heck did they give him an 80 overall in the game? I honestly think that he should be at least an 86. He's one of the best in the league at his position, and he's proven it with multiple Pro Bowls. That's it. Uchenna Nwosu, I'm very high on Uchenna, dude. I think that he's going to blow up in the next couple of years. 77, whatever. He's got to earn his stripes, whatever. 77, that doesn't even concern me. He's gonna get this number up very soon. I think he may be the backup plan in case Melvin Ingram has to take off at some point. Justin Jackson, 74 overall. Again, an underdog. I think if he gets more playing time this year, you know, splitting with Austin Eckler, he's probably going to get into the low 80s. He's a very good running back. Very underrated. Here we go with some of our rookies. 73 overall for Kenneth Murray. That's not bad for a rookie considering Madden. Like, he's never played a snap of NFL football, and he's starting off with a 73. I don't hate it. What's his speed rating? 88? That's not bad, dude. Is that speed or is that something else? Yeah, that's speed. That's speed. We got some speed out there at linebacker. We can start using Kenneth Murray. And it's interesting, they have him listed as a right outside linebacker. I talked about the possibility of starting him outside. Because he played, what, middle for his career? Very interesting. Very interesting. Michael Davis, 73. I guess that's fine. You know, he's got some work to do. He's been a little inconsistent. Nick Vigil, another new acquisition for the Chargers, right outside linebacker, 73. Interesting. Denzel Perryman, who would be at least an 82 if he wasn't injured all the time, is very interesting. Drew Tranquill. I cannot tell you how high I am on Drew Tranquill this year, dudes. I think this guy legitimately has a shot to change this rating from a 72 to a mid-80s this season. From what I've seen with Drew Tranquill, he's just a sleeping giant waiting to be awoken. You know, he's going to be very, very good. Jerry Tillery, 72. You're stuck there, dude, until we see otherwise. Maybe, hopefully, he gets some more playing time this year. Kevin Badgley, 71. He's arguably one of the better kickers in the league right now, so that does seem low, but they don't give kickers very high overalls, just because there's so many different attributes that they don't really work on because they just need to focus on kicking. I guess I understand that. Nasir Adderley, 71. I'd like to see 72. But again, he needs to play more. Virgil Green, 71. Justin Jones, 70. Justin Herbert, 70. Now, I wouldn't be mad at that if, what's his name? Jordan Love didn't get a 71. I don't think Jordan Love, right out the gate, is going to be better than Justin Herbert. I honestly thought, you know, when people were asking me, you know, Director, what do you think Justin Herbert's going to be when it comes out in Madden 21? I was telling everybody 72. I was like, I think 72 is pretty fair. You know, I feel like, you know, he's a bit raw. That number is going to climb, especially if he gets to start this year by a lot. But, you know, to start things off, 72. They gave him a 70 and they gave Jordan Love a 71. I don't like that. Kazir White, 70. Rayshawn Jenkins, 70. Again, like Derwin says in that video, he picked up, what, like 4 picks? That's not going to do. Kazir's also underrated. Tyrod Taylor, our starting quarterback this year, 69. Oh, man. I don't even know, dude. I don't know what to say about that. I get it, man. This is the last time he started with the Cleveland Browns was atrocious. But let's just wait and see that number climb together, shall we? If he's really starting for the whole year, no way he stays a 69. Bet he's going to get up to at least a 79, 78, 79, you know, by mid-season if he really is the starter for the Chargers. He has way too much to work with out there to be a 69 on this team. Forrest Lamp, 68. He's been injured. Malik Jefferson, 68. Teamer just got suspended, so he'll probably be gone. Dan Feeney, 67. That could be a little higher. Isaac Rochelle, if he gets more opportunities, could be higher. Here's that wide receiver core. Joe Reed, 67. That could be very interesting. I think he can get up into the mid-70s if he's our kick returner. He was a kick returning specialist in college. If he can get up to the mid-70s just by playing really good special teams, I think it could happen. Joshua Kelly, he could become a vulture on this team of touchdowns. He can get up into the high 70s, in my opinion. Alohi Gilman, I'm so excited to see how the Chargers utilize him. He could definitely be a mid-70s guy by mid-season, late season. Damian Square, I think, is underrated. Infection's underrated. And then we're not going to go too further down, guys. I'll just point out a couple of guys that I like here. KJ Hill, 64. If he's our slot receiver, guaranteed like 76, 77 by mid-late season. Guaranteed. Who else we got here? Jason Moore, Easton, 662. He'd be awesome if he were starting. Our starting left tackle is a 62 in the game right now. Holy smokes, dudes. That's scary. That's going to take a lot of work in franchise mode, fixing that left tackle position. Oh, that's bad. That hopefully he's also a sleeper. Hopefully that he emerges, because he looked really good in flashes last year, but he's got some work to do. Donald Parham, 61. He's one of my deep sleepers for the Chargers. I think maybe they're grooming him. He's 6'8", very fast for a tight end. 61 overall, 84 speed. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sam Tevi, 60 overall. Storm Norton, 55 overall. This was supposedly the best tackle in the XFL. 55 overall. And that's it. Well, guys, this video was a little bit longer than I had thought, but what do you guys think of the Chargers ratings? So, I mean, as a whole, I would give the entire grading like a C+, maybe. I think there's a lot of things that need to change, and I think the Chargers did call him out on it, and I think there's especially guys like, Austin Eckler, Hunter Henry, Derwin James, and even our superstars, Joey Bosa. Those guys need to be addressed ASAP. Who do you guys think is the most underrated Chargers on the team right now when it comes to Madden? And who are you most excited to see break out this year? I vote Kenneth Murray. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time. Bolt up and stay frosty.